Your turn, Yugi boy.
Now, I very rarely do news videos or anything like this because it's just not my MO, and a million other people do it, and everyone else will just go watch them. But this needs to be spoken about. This is something that's really cool that is happening in the kind of school tournament series that Konami have put up, and I just want to talk about it if you haven't heard about it, because I'll be honest, props where props due, it's a good idea. So just if you don't know what it is, it's called kind of, it's being dubbed as the Lost Arts promotion. And you basically have a Monster Reborn, the old OCG art of it, basically in an ultra rare copy. And the way that you get it is during that Lost Art promotion, while you're in store, you have to spend a minimum of $30 on product on Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG products at official tournament stores. So that's red brick stores that are officially sponsored, so your locals. Is what it essentially boils down to. And you get to get one of these free Lost Art promotional cards with the purchases. And I just think it's really cool because they'll be able to get things like the Exodia stuff as well with the outside Asian, with the Asian artwork as well. So it's all the old school stuff that we've never had printed in English. And I think that's really good. It's a really nice way to engage with mainly the stores. Previously, I feel that Konami have not done enough, well, they haven't done a lot at all, to look after locals. Locals have needed to really, and I think going, well, from a standpoint of someone who's attended locals from when I was a kid to still now, and I do still attend locals now every so often at the Brotherhoods, they don't do enough. Like, and I know that in some places it's different, and I feel that locals have to survive on their own. If they want to become a good Yu-Gi-Oh! Locals, they need to really do it themselves. They need to be self-motivated. And while I agree that there is a certain aspect of that that has to happen, I think the majority, probably about, say, you could argue that the slight majority of it needs to be the percentages put in from the locals. So say 51% of the kind of passion and events and all that comes from the locals and the TOs themselves. Konami need to back these shops more because they're left out to dry a lot. There's a lot of horrible things that go on, really. But something like this is really good. Now, this only looks like it's for America. Currently, I spoke to someone in the UK scene who's in Konami, and the official statement is that there is no word yet, but for Europe, but it could happen, and it should happen, and stuff like this could go on for a very long time, and it should really happen a lot. Because if you think of, okay, the first example of this is they got the OCG Monster Reborn art and the OCG Exodia art. That's some really good stuff, and I'm not going to talk about if Monster Reborn could come off the ban list or not, because it could, but never mind. You have a massive card pool of just alternate art that you could use as specialized stuff like this. And I know that the argument's going to be that, oh, well, some people are just going to go online and buy those cards when people initially get them. Well, that's fine, because unless the TO themselves break the contract and sell the cards online, the people who are getting the cards anyway have to actually enter into that minimum £30, well, minimum $30 spend, sorry. And it's a good way to get people back to locals, because some locals might not actually have many people turning up, and if people need to get their product, a lot of people will turn to online sources and online shops and the secondary market to actually get their cards and their product. So this kind of turns people back towards locals and think, huh, well, okay, because what you could do with this is you could say this is a Lost Art promotional evening or weekend or something like that, where for this weekend only or for another week or 2 weekends only, if you enter into a tournament and you pay the £30 product or $30 thing, something like that, then it could, you know, essentially be a way to get people back in the store. You could get creative as well with it. You could have like a tournament that's a $30 entry that has, like, for example, a sealed product type thing, you know, depending on what you have lying around, and you can maybe do something like that. There's the logistics behind it and the legalities of what certain products you would use with it is a little bit vague right now, but it looks like this is just you don't use it as a tournament type thing. This is a reward for people purchasing product in your store, and that's a very important thing. And I think that at the very least, this is a good thing. It should always be like this, in my opinion. Konami should be giving special product to stores so that they keep their customer base alive, because it means that people will go, okay, well, I'm going to go buy this product. Well, this also means that I can buy this product in this store instead of going online, and I get this card that could be worth X amount of money. And it's just a special thing as well. And as I said, there's so many different things they could do with this. There's a whole host of alternate art that they could actually use as the promos for this. Then there's obviously different bits and pieces depending on the regions. So for example, in Europe they could have you know, the manga stuff, the Shonen Jump things, even though there's a big legality thing there, and that's why the licensing, why we get cards really late, and America obviously have them in their Shonen Jumps, blah blah blah. I'm not going to get into that. I've expressed my opinions on that many times before, but I just think this is a good thing. I think this is a really solid thing that they're doing. They need to keep stuff up like this, and they need to look after stores a lot more, because coming from someone who has always been in the scene of how stores are run, from the background, just from being friends with not just my current locals, with locals before that I've always gone to all around England, so it's not just one type of store. A lot of people have the same problems, and a lot of people feel a little bit left out and kind of not backed up. So this would plug a fairly decent sized hole in that support, and I think it's really good, and it needs to happen more. So I want to know what you guys think. 2 videos in 1 week, shock horror, I know, right? But I'm just kind of currently doing videos as I see a topic that come up and I want to talk about it, and I think that's a good way to do it, because it means that I don't feel like I'm forced to do it. So it'll be sporadic videos here and there, and also streams a little bit later down the line this month, when I actually fix my full layout for streaming when I'm happy. So the link to all my Twitch and that is in the description. But yeah, let me know what you think of this. It's a really good thing, I think. I don't see any potential downside to it, but we don't have much of the logistics currently. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, interesting, Konami. Interesting.